So who's gonna stop the voices now, Nick Aldis? Huh? I'm Chris War with the Wrestling Blog, who always tells it like it is. Sorry I've been off for a while, had issues at work and haven't been sleeping right. But I'll do 3 straight, one now, one for the Hall of Fame, and of course picks for WrestleMania and Stand to Deliver. Anyway, ever since Elimination Chamber when Kevin Owens put Sami Zayn on the DL for a significant amount of time, and then Randy Orton returned to try to remove Owens' head from with his foot, the Orton-Owens match has been the most anticipated match at WrestleMania not involving a title. We've been chomping at the bit to see if KO would give RKO a pile driver again, or if Orton would kick KO's head so hard that if the goalposts were up in Allegiant Stadium, it would be a field goal. Sadly, however, we'll never know. Or at least we won't know for a good while at the least. KO announced that he was having neck pain for months and that the doctors finally isolated it, and that he would have neck surgery that, like Edge and Daniel Bryan before him, might force him into retirement. Although, unlike Edge and Bryan, that retirement might just be permanent. This left Randy Orton with no one to fight with at WrestleMania. He's off the card as of now. But Orton wasn't going to take this setback lying down. Instead, he laid SmackDown GM Nick Aldis out with an RKO out of nowhere in frustration. Now any other GM, maybe even Adam Pearce, would have probably suspended Orton indefinitely as soon as they regained consciousness and cognitive behavior. But Aldis has not talked about what he wants to do with the Viper yet. It's like he knows he lost a match that could blow away any match Raw has and needs to get the guy in the ring in Vegas against anybody at this point. So the question is, who, if anybody, can take the prizefighter's place in the cancelled KO Mania 7 match? Or is it 8 or 9? I've honestly lost count. Well, firstly, we have to ignore alignment here. One might think him turning on Aldis would make this a heel turn, but Aldis as a GM is pretty much neutral, and it's how he responds to this attack that will decide which side Orton is on. Until then, we'll have to assume that he'll take anybody on, regardless of whether they're booed or cheered. Okay, so let's start with Braun Strowman. Not like he has a spot since losing to Jacob Fatu in the Last Man Standing match. Orton's brain might think of him not being on the card as a prison, and as such he needs to go up to the biggest, baddest SOB in the yard and show him who's boss. And I would really like to see this match, if only to see if it takes more than one RKO to put the one bad SOB down. Or, remember why KO attacked Orton to start with? Because Orton's support over Roman Reigns. The current bloodline hates Reigns for regaining his Ulafala and his spot at the head of the table, and last I checked, Solo Sikoa has no plans for WrestleMania weekend, so why not have Orton take him down, along with Tama Tonga, and Tonga Loa if he's fully recovered. End the bloodline for good and let Solo and the Tongas make names for themselves. One choice I read on Twitter made me chuckle a bit, but I can't help but be intrigued. It was Randy Orton versus Joe Hendry. Why not? Unless Hendry moves to the WWE once his TNA contract is up, this may be the only chance to be in the greatest stage of them all. Grandest stage. Oh, sure, the match will probably be quite short, but you have to admit it would be quite entertaining. But there's one choice that should be a bit more obvious. It was Aldis who was besmirched by this legend killer, so why not have him try to wreak vengeance on him? Remember that before he came to the WWE, he was called Magnus, and has had a great career in pro wrestling. He won championships in many promotions, including TNA, GCW, and NWA. Yeah, that's right, the National Wrestling Alliance has survived all the currently big promotions, leaving them, and Magnus was once their world champion. And he's only 38 years old, 7 behind Orton. If Orton can keep being vicious at 45, I doubt Aldis has forgotten everything in the year and a half in the GM's office. But no matter who Orton faces, Aldis needs to have him face someone, and fast. After all, WrestleMania is only 2 weeks away, and those voices in his head aren't getting any more quiet. I'm Chris Wolvie, the wrestling vlog who always tells it like it is. Pray for peace, and I'll see ya